The Cincinnati Bengals have not extended Jesse Bates, and they are not planning to. Jeremy Fowler reported that they are not expected to reach a contract agreement, and this is shocking news to me. And there are quite a couple of news coming out of the Bengals camp. You know, Joe Burrow hasn't been so great in camp so far. He had this one good practice, though, the other day. Jamar Chase, there's been a report that he has been lacking that separation in camp. And now Jesse Bates. And for me, Jesse Bates is one of the best safeties in the NFL right now. Since getting drafted, he has had over 100 tackles, 3 interceptions in each season, and last year he had 15 pass breakups. PFF, if I'm not mistaken, ranked him as the number one safety in the entire NFL. He's only 24 years old. I don't get why they don't want to extend him. Maybe it's because he's asking for too much money. I mean, we're Jets fans. We went through that with Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams wanted $20 million a year, and Joe Douglas said, okay, we're going to trade you. And we traded him. We got 2 first-round picks, and now we are where we're at. I think Jesse Bates makes the Bengals secondary look that much better because last year they had William Jackson, Mackenzie Alexander, Darius Phillips. They were good, but they weren't exceptional. Jesse Bates masked a lot of their mistakes. And this year they got worse. Mike Hilton, Awuzie, Trey Waynes, Darius Phillips. Their corners aren't great. So Jesse Bates this year is probably going to have to do even more to mask that secondary. And since getting drafted, their defense has been getting better. 2018, they were the 30th ranked defense. 2019, they were the 25th ranked defense. And 2018, they were the 22nd ranked defense. Since Jesse Bates has got there, they have been getting better every year. And if I were them, I would sign him in a heartbeat because he is a game-changing player.
Yeah, I agree. Not to mention he's young. You know, so you got to have a young safety. You know, I think he's not about 24, 25, maybe 26, but he's around Justin Simmons' age, and you got a young safety right now who can change the game at that pace and who can mask a lot of the errors that a lot of your cornerbacks who are probably old. I think William Jackson is older than him with more experience. And
he's in Washington.
Well, he played.
Oh, yeah, last year. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, messing up my thought, man. But you got a safety at that young age who's able to mask a lot of the weaknesses of your corners and your other safety. I think that's somebody you need to keep. And like you said, Cincinnati is in rebuild process. Joe Burrow's young. You know, T. Higgins, who broke out last year, he's young. Jamar Chase, who you just drafted, is young. Like, these are even I'm blanking on it. Tyler Boyd, still young. So, you got a young team, and to lose your safety or not want to pay your safety, and I get it. Paying a safety $20 million a year, it gets a little stretchy, but you know I think this is a little different than Jamal Adams because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys didn't want to pay him because he kind of was like a linebacker, if I'm not mistaken. With Jesse Bates, though, he can cover, he can play man, he can play in the zone, so I think this is a little bit different situation. And with the Bengals, they don't have a lot of talent. So you gotta have to capitalize on what you have right now. This is a player, a high caliber player who's one of the best safeties in the NFL, and you need to pay him his money, or you're gonna lose him to a team. And he might go to a team in your division, and then you're gonna have to play him twice a year.
He's a free agent after this season too.
My thing is like when you're rebuilding a franchise, like you're trying to set a new tone. And Cincinnati ain't seen something good in I don't even know how long. So
it's Marvin Lewis.
Since Marvin Lewis. But in my humble opinion, it's like I think if you want to kickstart this culture turn, one of the main things the team can do is showing that you know how to keep your best players. So I mean, you got arguably the best safety in the league, and you're just gonna let them walk. I understand now, granted, because it looks like they going all in on their offense. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and like you mentioned, T. Higgins. You still got Joe Mixon in the backfield. And Tyler Boyd. I understand maybe going all in on the offense is your go-to. And, $20 million a year to your one best defensive player might kind of mess that up. But, I mean, it takes a lot. Because I remember with the Jamal Adams thing, Jamal Adams was asking for his money. But my thing was, if he really wants, the Jets to win, I think he would understand that there's, much more important pieces that all this money can go to. And I'm not trying to get that out of Jesse Bates or whatever, but Like it's hard on teams when a defensive player asks for that kind of money, unless it's like a Lawrence Taylor or something, like a safety. It's kind of like come and go, but I mean, like I still see it as that.
I think the Jets are in a different situation than the Bengals were because the Jets had no positions filled outside of safety, Jamal Adams. I think right now the Bengals do. They have their receivers. They have their quarterback of the future. They have their running back. You look at their defensive line. They have that with DJ Reader, Trey Hendrickson, and Sam Hubbard. They have that filled up. Their linebackers are average. Their corners, they paid for corners. And their offensive line is getting better with Riley Reef and Jonah Williams and Quinn Spain. Trey Hopkins isn't too bad. They're in a better position to just pay guys because right now Joe Burrow on his rookie quarterback deal, you have that luxury to overpay for a safety, to give him a big contract because Joe Burrow's quarterback is not coming up. He's still getting paid pennies on a dollar, basically. I would pay Jesse Bates in a heartbeat, but I want to get your thoughts on this as well. Jamar Chase, there's been a report that he's not showing much separation in camp right now. Do you think that's a big deal, or do you think it's not a big deal?
What you mean?
I think it's a big deal because of the fact that you're in training camp and you're playing corners that we just established aren't that good, or they're not going to be. You're in a division where you're going to see Marcus Peters, Marlon Humphreys twice a year, and then you got to go to Pittsburgh where you're going to see Joe Hayden, Minkah Fitzpatrick twice a year. And then Cleveland, when you got to see Denzel Ward twice a year. So this ain't no walk in the park division. No, this is a division where you see top-notch talent at that secondary position.
Jamar Chase also said Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah.
That's his comment on it.
You know what?
He was asked about his
That was
struggles.
such a Zach Wilson comment from, like, okay, Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay. I'm here.
I'm not too worried about Jamar Chase.
I'm not worried.
Because out of college, I thought he was a jump ball receiver. I think that's what he's going to be. He's just his size overwhelms corners to the point that you just throw it up. He's going to come down with it. But also there's been reported that he's not coming down with those in camp. But he also didn't play football in about a year. He opted out last season.
He definitely did.
He's still getting into the rhythm of the game. Because of that, this is not too big of a deal.
It's something, though.
If this was like their only receiver that you're counting on, 100%.
He'll probably be playing against third stringers. So,
but with T. Higgins and with Tyler Boyd there, it's going to free up Jamar Chase a lot more than if he would have went to the Jets per se. And you only have like Crowder next to you. I think the Bengals are in a better position to make Jamar Chase look better. But obviously, this is a debate because people thought the Bengals should have taken Penei Sewell.
But then again, it's like he's not getting open against third stringers on the Bengals.
Well, we're not sure if he's going up against those third stringers.
Okay. Well,
I think all of those guys are in the same tier, though. Trey Waynes,
true.
Mike Hilton.
Yeah.
Like, they're in the same tier.
But I'm saying he can't get open against them. All right. Well,
Joe Burrow also hasn't been having a great camp.
He's also coming off an injury, too. Yeah. They just got a lot of coming off of things, so they got to figure it out. I think he'll be okay down the line, but it sounds like to me, like you said, I don't know, you just was out on Denzel Mills for training camp, so what you think?
Well, I think Jamar Chase is different than Denzel.
Okay.
I don't have any personal experience with Jamar Chase in terms of I don't have him on PlayStation. I can't see if he's on the game. I saw Denzel playing. I saw Denzel Mills playing. He was playing NBA My Park.
What?
I saw him playing Warzone. Like I seen that on my PlayStation. Denzel Mims, or his name was like, I think
he's on every day.
I'm not gonna shout out his like PSN, but I saw his PSN. It was like Warzone.
So he's on the game every day.
From what I seen, yes, he was. Every single time I hop on, I seen him. I seen his name.
You don't work for like the Jets, so it's like you have mad time.
Oh, that's all I see, bro. I don't be on places like that though, so maybe in the times that I'm on, I see him. But yeah, every time I'm on, I do see him. Yeah.
Okay, so he's like when you on, like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna hit Denzel up because I know he's on. That makes sense. All right.
Yeah, but he was on. That's why I think Jamar Chase is also way more talented than Denzel.
Agreed.
Yeah, like I don't think it's a debate. Like Jamar is a freak of nature.
Agreed.
But I think Elijah Moore might be the best receiver in this class.
Oh God, here we go.
Elijah Moore
the same thing
Elijah
about
Moore's
Denzel.
a dog. No, I didn't.
You was talking about him like he was a god.
I
bro.
told you about Chase Claypool though.
You did.
I told you about. I was right
You
about.
told me
a lot
about
of-
Jalen Rieger too.
It's rookie season.
No.
Oh my God, yo.
It's his rookie season.
Nah, I don't want to hear that. You told me about him too. You pissed.
I told
me
you about
off.
a lot of receivers that ended
Yeah.
up being good.
You told me I give you the Claypool one.
I think I had like 7 out of 10.
You told me
I went
forgot.
7
you,
out of 10.
You told me like 15 guys, bro. There was a lot of guys you named. You told me about Mooney. I remember that. And Mooney
yeah,
was
Darnold,
good. You
yeah.
definitely told me about Mooney. But the Rieger one will forever stick out to me because I seen him. That one,
It's his rookie year though.
that one hurt.
Gotta
me.
give him a break.
You really made me.
If you knew how Jalen Rieger was doing in camp,
Mm.
I would be like, okay, you got it. But I don't know how he's been doing in camp. I know Denzel Mims has been bad.
I know the only person that's been getting rave out of camp is Devontae Smith out of the receiver. Oh, and Travis Fulgham. But Rieger has been hurt, so
Okay.
yeah.